If you hear yelling in the background, it's because my boyfriend's playing RuneScape and I keep closing his...
RuneScape, it's medieval total war. Get your facts straight.
Hi, hello, welcome to Pages in the Stars. My name is Ash. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am not in my usual setup today. I am in a different room. Anyway, 2020 is almost over, so I decided to end the year / kick off 2021. It would be cool to talk about the books that I am most excited that are going to be released in the first half-ish of 2021, except I kind of created a book tag for it because who doesn't love a book tag? So to kick it off, a sequel that I am really excited to read next year that comes out in 2021 is A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. It is a sequel to A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and if you saw my vlog for A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, you know that that book stomped on my heart and then ripped it into 1,000 different pieces and then poured gasoline on it and then struck a match and just burned it. That's what A Song of Wraiths and Ruin did to my heart. So of course, after putting my heart back together, after that sort of enormous heartbreak, I'm ready to have it done by the second book, A Psalm of Storms and Silence, which comes out on June 1st of 2021. So yeah, get your tissues ready for that one because don't hurt my baby boy Malik. It's not allowed. You cannot hurt Malik. It's not allowed. Anyway, the second prompt, a reimagining / retelling that comes out next year that I would like to read. This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. It comes out July 6th of 2021, and it is a Secret Garden reimagining. First of all, look at this cover. It's beautiful. Look at our beautiful queen on the front of this cover. I cannot wait to read this book. Partially because it's a Secret Garden retelling. I love the Secret... Can you not move? This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron comes out July 6, 2021. It is a Secret Garden reimagining, and I have a lot of fond memories of reading The Secret Garden when I was a kid. I actually lost my first tooth when I was reading The Secret Garden. There's still a blood stain on one of the pages, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, look at this cover. It's absolutely beautiful, and apparently, from what I read, it's also queer, like her first book, Cinderella is Dead. I'm here for all the queer books that are coming out in 2021. That's it. I'm here for queer books that are coming out in 2021. I want all of them. A book coming out in a genre that you usually don't read. Act Your Age, Eve Brown is coming out March 9th, 2021 by Talia Hibbert, and I do not read a lot of contemporary adult romance. It's just not a genre that I spend a lot of time reading, but I want to branch out and try and push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, like I'm pushing something off screen. Anyway, so I decided I was going to give Act Your Age Brown a try. I actually have Take a Hint, Danny Brown, because a lot of people have been raving about the Brown Sisters trilogy, or the first two books at least, and I've been meaning to read them, but again, I've been kind of hesitant because it's contemporary adult romance. So to try and push myself out of that, I'm going to read some contemporary adult romance. So yeah, Act Your Age Brown. So I'm going to give that a try. All right, the fourth prompt, a middle grade book. Okay, now as a teacher, I love middle grade because I'm always looking for books that my students are going to enjoy. But as an adult, I also love middle grade because middle grade is awesome. So the book that I am going to read for my middle grade book prompt is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, and it comes out January 19th of 2021. I chose this book because, like a lot of the books that I've talked about, it's a book that I wish I had had in middle school. When I was in middle school, I didn't get these really cool stories about black girls going on these mystical, magical adventures to go save their older brothers. That wasn't a story that I got to read. All of the protagonists in the fantasy and sci-fi books I read were white and were mostly men because that's what fantasy and sci-fi was. It was pitched as something that was for that was mainly for white boys. So I didn't get to see a lot of people who looked like me and my family and my friends in fantasy and sci-fi books, particularly in middle school, because it just wasn't something that was considered marketable to black girls. So it wasn't something that I got to read, but now I get to bask in the glory and read all the books about magical black girls that I want, and I'm thrilled about it. Okay, anyway. Next prompt, a book that takes place in a culture or a country that is not your own. And for this one, I chose Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. It comes out May 25th of next year. And this book follows Hani, who comes out as bisexual, only her friends tell her that you can't be bisexual if you've only dated guys. So she decides that she's going to date this girl, Ishu, who her friends can't stand. And despite their mutually beneficial pact, they start developing feelings for each other, but relationships are complicated, and some people will do anything to stop two Bengali girls from achieving their happily ever after. I read Adiba's first book, The Henna Wars, and I absolutely loved it, so much so that when I did this little feature with Social Distance Book Fest, this was the book that I chose to use, The Henna Wars. So I'm really, really eagerly awaiting her second book, and I'm loving all the queer and sapphic books that are coming out this year. A lot of books on this list are queer and sapphic, so yeah. Next prompt, an LGBTQ plus book. I could have used Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating for this, but I chose a different book. And I chose Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe, which is also coming out in January. It comes out January 19th. I hadn't heard about this book until Strawberry Lemon Books talked about it in their 2021 anticipated reads video. Follows 17-year-old Lily who can't remember exactly when this question took root, but the answer was in full bloom the moment she and Kathleen Miller walked under the flashing neon sign of a lesbian bar called the Telegraph Club. In America in 1954 is not a safe place for two girls to fall in love, especially not in Chinatown. Red Scare paranoia threatens everyone, including Chinese Americans like Lily. With deportation looming over her father, despite his hard-won citizenship, Lily and Kath risk everything to let their love see the light of day. I'm really looking forward to this book, and again, I only found out about it a few days ago, but it sounds really interesting, and again, I'm loving all the sapphic books that are coming out that don't only follow white girls. A lot of the sapphic books that have come out have mainly followed two white protagonists, so I'm really excited to see that there's been this influx of sapphic books with BIPOC characters, so that's really, again, exciting for me to see. Okay, I think this is my last prompt, yeah. A book cover that made your jaw drop. Wings of Ebony by J.L. It comes out January 26th. Absolutely love this cover. I love the mystery behind it, and I love the bright colors, the black and the gold and the pink. So yeah, this cover was something that kind of just made me go. I have a lot of feelings around a lot of these covers, which are fantasy books that have black girls on the cover, because again, I didn't get this when I was in middle school, in the height of, my love for fantasy and sci-fi. And the lack of representation is something that really drove me away from reading in high school, because I wasn't seeing myself in the books and I wasn't satisfied. So the fact that now as an adult I get to see all these books about magic and sci-fi with these beautiful black girls on the cover is just amazing. I love it. So Wings of Ebony by J.L. comes out January 26th. It follows Rue is forced to go live with her father after her mother is murdered. Her father takes her to a hidden island full of gods and magic. She is the only half-god, half-human there, and must learn to embrace her true identity and wield the full magnitude of her ancestors' power in order to save the things that mean the most to her. And that's again Wings of Ebony by J.L., and it comes out January 26th. So those are 7 books that I'm looking forward to that are coming out between, I think, January and July-ish. I'll probably do this video again once July hits, because there's going to be a whole slew of books that come out between July and December of next year that I'm going to be eagerly awaiting. But I just wanted to talk about the books that are coming out in the first half first. So that wraps this up. If you want to do this video with these questions, go ahead. I am not good at tagging people and listing off people's names, because I end up forgetting people, and then I go to edit and I think, I forgot this person, they're going to be offended and not like me anymore. So yeah, if you want to do this video, if you want to do this tag, you should do this tag. I give you free reign to do this tag. I am dubbing it the New Year, New Book tag. There you have it. So what are some books that you're looking forward to that are coming out in the first half of 2021? Let me know in the comments, and give a like, give a subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I will see everyone in the next video. Bye!